This problem says, given that the conditions in binary star systems should make planetary formations nearly impossible, it's not surprising that the existence of such systems has lacked blank explanation. Rafikov and Kedron Silsbee shed light on the subject when they used modeling to determine a complex set of factors that could support planets' development. For these words and context problems, a good strategy is to not even look at the answer choices and form your own kind of idea or hypothesis of what the answer is based off the text. So this first part is saying that given that the condition is a binary star system should make the formation nearly impossible, it's saying that it's very unlikely for the formation to occur. It's very unlikely formation. And then this next part is saying they use modeling to determine a complex set of factors. So they have been able to determine, give an explanation, but the explanation has been very complex. Explanation is complex. So then we have to fill in the blank. It's not surprising that the existence of planets in such system has lacked blank explanation. They have offered an explanation. It's just a very complex explanation. So we could say what would almost work here is a non-complex explanation, or maybe a simple explanation. Then we can go back to our answer choices. I'll just put them back in, and then we can look through them. What corresponds to non-complex and simple the most? I'm looking through it. Discernible, I don't know. Discernible basically means able to be perceived or understood. So I don't know if I would really choose that. Oh, straightforward looks pretty good. Straightforward is pretty close to simple. So I would almost say, hey, maybe it's simple, but let's look through the other choices. So we'll go back to A. What does discernible mean? It basically means able to be perceived or understood. And the second sentence tells us that they do have an explanation. So it is able to be understood. So we're not lacking this. One common mistake is that students will pick discernible just because they don't understand what the word is. If this happens and you don't understand the word, first look through all the options and see what you can eliminate, and then try to give a guess on what your best answer is. And so our next option is an inconclusive. It lacked an inconclusive explanation. This is almost like a double negative because it's saying lacked and inconclusive. So it's almost, if we take away the lacked and we take away the in makes conclusive negative. We could just say this answer is basically saying we have a conclusive explanation. But I would almost say it's the opposite. We don't really, it's saying something it lacks. So if we choose it, it would mean there is a conclusive or decisive answer. I would argue the opposite, since it said how complex. It argues how complex it is. So it's not really, we don't really have a conclusive explanation. It's more complex than what we think. So we'd have to mark this as incorrect. And then D is unbiased. Unbiased basically means impartial. And if we add this, it would mean that there is some bias. The second sentence does not really say that Roman and Kedron Silsbee introduced any bias into the experiment. So there's no evidence to support D, which is unbiased. So we can cross out D and then we'll circle B and then move on with the test.